Hello, my name is Richard Gillen. Along with my colleagues Mary Ellen Coe and Daryl Unterrecker, I teach a class at Medtronic called Critical Thinking and Decision Making. The goal of the Critical Thinking class is to make the best decision possible under the circumstances. In this video, we are going to explore one of the most important aspects of the decision process, persuasion, and more specifically, we are going to explore a basic persuasion strategy. Critical thinking is a deliberate act. As critical thinkers, we commit to paying attention to the factors that help us make good decisions, and we remain vigilant to the factors that get decisions off track. As critical thinkers, we also agree to argue rather than fight about our points of view. We are fine with disagreement, but we don't want to be disagreeable. We want to persuade other people instead of telling them what to do. We also want to maintain healthy relationships even though we may disagree. And so we have to learn some of the skills of communication that help us make our case effectively. The art of persuading people is the art of understanding other people, understanding what they think is important, what they value, and what they are concerned about. We have our audience in mind when we persuade because we are leaving the decision up to them. We are not telling them what to do. We are asking them to see our perspective and join with us. We must note that others will also try to persuade us to see their viewpoint, and that is as it should be. Persuasion is not about getting our way. Persuasion in the cause of critical thinking is about making the right decision. Not getting my way or you getting your way, but making the best decision to do it the right way. The basic persuasion strategy helps us persuade others and also helps us think through what our point of view and our proposal really is. When we develop our ideas using the basic persuasion strategy, we make sure that we are keeping the decision in mind and not just our own interests. Here are the steps to the basic persuasion strategy. Begin with commonplaces. Then define the issue in the broadest terms. And finally, switch from values to choices in the future. The first step, begin with commonplaces, refers to framing the decision in terms of the greater good, the greater goals that we all share. Commonplaces are shared beliefs and shared values, sometimes shared experiences, that join us together in our professional enterprise. What is the backdrop of interest in which this decision exists? What are the larger goals we all hope to achieve? Let's say I want to persuade you to support these types of learning videos. Here's an example of how I might use commonplaces to start my presentation. I hope we could all agree that making good decisions is very important to the success of our business. And I think we could all say that good decisions result from people talking things out, looking at different options, and sometimes disagreeing. A healthy debate is what we want, but we don't want people to fight because we can easily lose sight of what's important. Okay, in my opening, I have called on my audience to remember what matters: good decisions, the success of the business, a positive working environment. These are commonplaces. Concepts that we don't have to define to a great extent, but we all know what I mean, and we all agree that these are important things. Now I'm ready to define the issue in the broadest terms. Here's what I might say. Paying attention and learning how to communicate more effectively not only helps us make better decisions, good communication also fosters better relationships with our customers and our suppliers. We listen better to people outside the organization when we know how to listen to people inside the organization. We also send a strong signal of support to our staff members when we set aside learning time and commit to their professional growth through these programs. The process of defining the issue in the broadest terms helps us link our proposal to what is important at a higher level than our own interest. Our proposal has to meet this requirement. If we can't link what we want to the greater good, we have to rethink our proposal. The last step of the basic persuasion strategy is switch from values to choices in the future. Okay, the first step of the strategy reminded people of their core values. the commonplaces of belief that we all share. The second step linked our beliefs to the real world and how our beliefs come alive with actions that we can take. We are now ready to focus our audience on the specific choice we want them to make, the support of our online learning initiative. Here's how I might present the last step of the basic persuasion strategy. Growing our business in the future will depend on how well we capture new opportunities and meet the challenges that will inevitably face us. We will certainly have to work harder, but we also have to learn to work smarter. Working smarter means better thinking. Working harder comes from experience. Working smarter comes through learning from that experience so that we do it better the next time. That learning requires that we step aside from work for a short time, that we pause to learn from experience. And we can do that exactly from these kinds of videos. Short and sweet, to the point. Okay, now we can get back to work. There, I have made my case using the basic persuasion strategy. Begin with the commonplaces that everyone believes in. Define the issue in the broadest terms to make sure that your proposal means something to everyone, and then switch from values to choices in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.